You're underwater, lungs burning, vision tunneling into darkness. That primal panic flooding your chest isn't just fear, it's your brain realizing it might be experiencing its final moments. We've all imagined it. That terrifying question that keeps us awake at 3 a.m. What does dying actually feel like? But here's what's wild: thousands of people have technically died, experienced it firsthand, and came back to tell us exactly what happened. So what if you could die for just 1 minute? Heart stopped? Brain shutting down and then returned? What does science know about those 60 seconds between life and whatever comes next? Today we're diving into the most mysterious minute of human existence, where your brain does something so bizarre that researchers still can't fully explain it. Seconds 0 to 15. The blackout, the moment your heart stops, you've got about 10 seconds of consciousness left. Your brain, that 3-pound universe running on just 20 watts of power, suddenly loses its oxygen supply. Blood pressure drops to 0. Within 2 to 3 seconds, you'd lose your ability to stand. By second 10, lights out, complete unconsciousness. But here's where it gets strange. Your brain doesn't just shut off like pulling a plug. Instead, it explodes into hyperactivity. A 2013 University of Michigan study by Borghagen found that in the 30 seconds after cardiac arrest, the brain generates a surge of gamma waves, the same patterns seen during intense concentration or deep meditation. Imagine your brain suddenly operating at 100% capacity, every neuron firing in perfect sync. This isn't death as darkness. It's death as a fireworks finale. Seconds 15 to 30, the chemical cascade. Now your brain cells, starved of oxygen, begin dumping their entire chemical arsenal. Massive floods of serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins, nature's most powerful painkillers, and euphoria. This is why so many cardiac arrest survivors report feeling profound peace instead of panic. Your brain is essentially giving you the ultimate neurochemical cocktail, stronger than any drug humans have created. Meanwhile, your hippocampus, the memory center, goes haywire. Time perception completely breaks down. What feels like hours or even years of experience might occur in mere seconds. One patient described reliving their entire childhood in what medical records show was 17 seconds of cardiac arrest. Your dying brain becomes a time machine. Seconds 30 to 45. The light in the tunnel, here's where those famous near-death experiences kick in. As your visual cortex shuts down from the outside in, you literally see a tunnel of light, not because of heaven's gates, but because your peripheral vision fails first, while the center holds on desperately. The light you see? That's your visual cortex firing randomly as it loses oxygen, creating brilliant hallucinations. But it's not just light. The temporal lobe, which processes meaning and significance, becomes hyperactive. Suddenly, everything feels profound, connected, important. Some researchers call this terminal lucidity, a final moment of impossible clarity. Your brain, knowing it's dying, seems to unlock capabilities we don't normally access. Seconds 45 to 60. The critical threshold. By 45 seconds, your brain cells begin the process called apoptosis, cellular suicide. But they don't all die at once. The brainstem, that ancient reptilian part controlling basic functions, holds on longest. The newer parts, personality, memory, reasoning, fade first. You're essentially experiencing evolution in reverse, becoming progressively more primitive until only the most basic life functions remain. At exactly 60 seconds, you hit a critical point. Brain cells can survive about 4 to 6 minutes without oxygen before permanent damage begins. But after 1 minute, the cascade of cellular death accelerates dramatically. Yet here's the mind-blowing part. People revived at this point often report their most vivid experiences happened right here, at the edge of no return. The return, those who come back describe something consistent yet impossible. Enhanced consciousness during clinical death. They report watching their own resuscitation from above, hearing conversations from other rooms, experiencing what they universally describe as more real than real life. Science calls it paradoxical lucidity, maximum awareness at minimum brain function. Dr. Sam Parnias, aware, studied documented cases where patients accurately described events during cardiac arrest that should have been impossible to perceive. One patient correctly identified objects placed on high shelves, visible only from ceiling level, while clinically dead for 3 minutes. The truth is, dying for 1 minute isn't like falling asleep or going under anesthesia. It's an explosion of consciousness, a flood of meaning, a compression of lifetime in 2 seconds. Your brain doesn't go gentle into that good night it rages. It fights. It creates one final masterpiece of human experience, perhaps most unsettling of all. Those who've been there and back often say the same thing. They weren't afraid anymore. Death, it turns out, might be the most alive we ever feel. Because in those 60 seconds between heartbeats, your brain reveals capabilities we never knew we had, creating an experience so profound that it changes how we understand consciousness itself. Have you ever had a near-death experience or know someone who has? What did they feel? Let me know in the comments.